Hello and welcome to Teacher Needs a Drink Podcast, episode 20, the Valentines Day week episode. I am Elvis, your host, and this podcast is not safe for work. We have been having drinks, we've been relaxing, we've been blowing off a lot of steam because this has been a crazy 6 weeks since New Year's Eve. Anyway, this is a not safe for work podcast. We are using pseudonyms so we can remain anonymous because we love our jobs and would like to keep them. Teacher Needs a Drink podcast comes out every Wednesday and is sponsored by Lud Lamb Dramatics Educational Theater Classroom Posters. If you are a theater teacher or know one in your building, send them or go to ludlambdramatics.com. Use the code TNAD15 at checkout. You can get 15% off your total order. If you have a story or something you'd like to share with us at Teacher Needs a Drink Podcast, you can tag us on Facebook or Instagram or go through our website, teacherneedsadrinkpodcast.com. Please, if you can, subscribe, follow, and leave a review. Also, if you can, just tell one person about our podcast. Find someone in your building, someone in the field, someone you know, and just tell them something you heard, whether it was funny, shocking, or amazing. Anyway, that's it. Teacher Needs a Drink Podcast is happy and exciting that we've hit episode 20. I removed the first 4 or 5 episodes because really we didn't have the same people. Our formats changed a little bit. And I figure if you start where we are now, it kind of runs the same. We had a great time recording this. We met, we had a lot of significant others. Zola Zanzibar was hanging out with us. She isn't on mic, but she was hanging. It was awesome. Anyway, here we go. Episode 20. Enjoy.
Oh,
yeah, you thought the iced tea was old.
It's fine. Just fermented.
All right. Welcome to Teacher Needs a Drink Podcast. I am Elvis, your host, and with me today I have Rosey Rose. Hey, Rosie.
Hey.
How you doing?
So good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. And we also have Bunny O'Hare. Hey, Bunny.
Hey, Elvis.
And, of course, we have Miss Sparkles. Hey, Sparkles.
Hey.
So this is from the Missouri News, the Mizzou News, and this is kind of a... Duh. Nearly all middle school teachers are highly stressed, a study finds. Really?
They had to study that?
So according to the article, hormonal changes, different schools, more teachers, and changing expectations are just some of the challenges families face when a child enters middle school. Now researchers from University of Missouri have found that 94% of middle school teachers experience high levels of stress, which could contribute to negative outcomes for students.
Only 94%?
Sparkles and I are just having eye contact over here, like, really, only 94?
Right? It's not more like 100%?
Who are the other 6?
Yeah, 112%.
This is a slow news day that someone was like, research. Important. No one knows this. I wonder if middle school teachers are stressed.
Yeah, I could read the rest of the article, but yeah, no shit. January was a year fucking long. The first week of February has been batshit. Valentine's Day is this coming week, so I know not only do we have full moon and all of this, the kids are going to be all heartbroken and more hormonal than anything else.
He didn't get me a candy gram.
Come quickly, Jesus.
Yeah, that's on Friday.
Oh.
Jesus be a candy gram for that kid who's going to cry if she doesn't get one.
It's not a popularity contest at all.
No.
You go, Glen Coco.
You go, Glen Coco.
And none for Gretchen Wieners. Bye.
What? Okay,
God.
I'm out of the loop on this one.
Mean Girls.
Candy grams.
And he gets the it's 4 for you, Glen Coco.
4 for you,
Glen Coco.
You go, Glen Coco.
And none for you, Gretchen Wieners. Bye. This is from the Reddits. I have been at work for 14 minutes and I already got yelled at by a parent because I can't change spring break. It is 6:14 a.m. School doesn't open till 7, but she nagged at the janitor to let her in the building. She is a dance mom. Oh, God. And her daughter has a competition on the other side of Canada the week before spring break. So she wants me to move spring break a week early. She didn't like that I told her to take it up with the Ministry of Education about moving spring break in the last email. So she wanted to talk to me in person. Adding to that, I told her that I don't do anything important because my attendance is below normal before spring break. So she's like most teachers, the week before spring break, you keep it kind of light, you know. But she doesn't want her daughter to miss school. So she wants me to move spring break. She believes I can because spring break, quote, is something teachers just make up just to take time off. End quote.
She can suck a big one.
I know. She didn't like that I gave her the address to our Ministry of Education and told her I can't change spring break. but she snatched it from my hand and told me she will be speaking to someone about my job position.
Did you say Ministry of Education?
Yeah, we're in Canada.
Dude, it's like the Ministry of Magic.
I know.
You weren't listening, eh?
No.
You missed it.
I'm such a
I hope she knows the Ministry of Education doesn't open till 8:30 a.m. and they don't open early for anyone. So hopefully I will be fired by 9 and I can go home.
And cheers.
Cheers to that. Sometimes you got to feel for subs because they have a hard job of like just coming in and they don't know the kids and they're just trying to make sure that nobody burns anything down. And some kids are cool with subs. Like they're just like, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to do my work. I'm going to draw my picture or whatever it is I was told to do. And then some kids are just like,
I'm going to burn this classroom to the ground.
yeah, they're like, I'm going to blow it up. Woo!
I miss like the sweet kids who are like used to like, hey, let's pretend we're each other. Like I'm gonna be Sam
God.
and you're gonna be Nate today. But now they're like evil. Like
Drawing penises on desks. And
Yeah.
Y'all, I have a friend that has been subbing because she's working on getting alternative certified to teach. And she was really excited because she got a job this week subbing at a middle school, and that's the age group she thinks she wants to teach. And it was in the content area that she wants to teach. Rosey.
Sorry.
But you can see where this is going.
The laughter is evil.
Oh, dear.
And like she was telling me about it later, and she said she got out to her car at the end of the day and just like started crying. And everybody was like, no, girl, we've been teaching middle school for a minute and they still make us cry sometimes. Like middle schoolers are just, and they eat subs alive. Like they see it as a challenge.
Yeah.
So I think middle school subs especially should get combat pay.
Yeah, or
because
something.
That's intense because I think it's almost like that being mean to strangers on the internet thing. They don't think they're ever going to see you again. So if they're
Right.
Yeah.
evil to you, then what's the big deal? Because they're never going to see you again.
That was why I liked when I taught middle school. We had subs who would come back to our school. Like they just really liked subbing at our school for whatever reason. And so it was great because they were just always there. So the kids knew them. They knew their names. The subs knew the kids' names. And they were way less likely to act up when one of those subs was in the room than if it was just some random person, which was nice. One of my old elementary school teachers who I hated in elementary school, she subbed for me one day. Oh. Yeah, she didn't. I don't think she knew it was me, which is weird because I have a very unique last name. So I figured she would remember who I was. But
They'd remember
apparently not.
Sparkles.
I remember
And a
Sparkles.
unique first name.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe she
There's
knew.
not many first graders named Miss. I mean,
Yeah, there are many first graders named Miss Sparkles. So maybe she knew it was me. Maybe she didn't. I don't know. But she subbed for my class, and I was so scared the whole time I was gone when I saw her name come up as my sub. And I really wanted to call my principal and be like, "Get her out of there! Save my children! She's gonna
Abort mission! Abort mission!
She's terrible."
And now it's time for Just the Tip.
Just the tip. What? Just the tip. What? Just the tip. Just the tip.
So first, Miss Rosey Rose,
Don't give out your personal number.
yeah, really don't. If you can help it in any way, do not let the parents, kids have your personal information.
Get a Google Voice number. They're free.
Well, that and why do you think we're anonymous here?
Yeah, right?
And so that goes to our teacher, who actually it's her tip as well, Mrs. H. She says, from our Teacher Needs a Drink contact page, I had a parent text my personal phone cussing me out because her child went outside for recess, I'm assuming, without letting her know. She was mad because I told her it's part of school to go outside if it's not freezing or raining, and the parent continued on for about 30 minutes. I had to stop texting her because it was after hours and I was not in teacher mode. So once again, don't give out your personal number. Don't do it.
I would also add maybe don't answer anything work related after work hours unless
yeah.
you have to.
100%.
yes, I was going to tack that on as well. Like have those boundaries, and if the parent wants to message you after hours, that's them being in them mode. But you don't have to be in teacher mode. And if it's Saturday or after 7 on or whatever your hours are.
You can even like set your email to that.
Yep.
Where they get an automatic response that was like, I'm out of the office until this time. That way you don't even have to read it.
I never thought, I mean, I've done the out of office one before. I've never thought about doing that like after hours in the evening. Like, hey, I'm not going to be responding to this till.
I used to do that so my boss didn't send me her crazy strand of emails at 10 o'clock at night. So I wouldn't even read it till the next morning because it had that automatic message that's sent to her.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I might start doing that too.
I had a principal once who had to sit down with a parent and have a meeting about respecting teachers' boundaries because this parent would email at like 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and then be angry calling the principal at 7 the next morning if they hadn't received a response yet.
Of course.
If they emailed the teacher at 10 o'clock at night and didn't get a response by 7 a.m. And the principal and this same parent would also like email teachers multiple times a day, get mad when they didn't get responses within like 30 minutes or something. The principal had to be like, you understand that the teachers are teaching class right now, right? Like,
I was about to say, you should be more worried if they do respond every 30 minutes.
They don't have time to sit down and answer emails during class because they're teaching your kid. Substitute teacher blew up part of the school today. Reddit post from user thatteacher1995. So we had this older substitute teacher a few rooms down who had an oxygenator and a few more smaller oxygen tanks with her. She was a smoker for a long time. She's substituted before, and she's usually wonderful. Anytime she substitutes, she always tells the kids, don't smoke or you'll end up like me. Well, apparently she is still a smoker.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
When second floor teachers were on our lunch period, she lit up a cigarette with her oxygen tank still on and running.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
I teach a couple of rooms down, and it was horrible. There was a huge boom and some serious shaking. Immediately, all of the fire alarms went off as black smoke filled the hallways. I had 5 students in my room eating lunch when it happened. The other teachers on the floor quickly rushed me. My sister, we're both pregnant teachers, and the students.
It keeps getting better.
And the students out while some of them ran towards the room trying to see what the hell happened. The main building was evacuated, followed by the other 2 buildings, and the students got to go home for the day. I guess so. At first, we thought that a gas leak had caused the explosion, but found out the truth later after the fire marshal and firemen had finished. Sub had to be airlifted to the hospital. Oh, no.
Oh.
It wasn't nearly as bad as we thought it would be, but that room is going to be out of commission for a long time while we have to replace everything in the room.
Holy shit.
Does anybody like get that image of Bugs Bunny sticking a cigar in someone's mouth and it blowing up in their face?
Yes.
That's what I thought of.
I think there's a really big warning label on those oxygen
That
bottles.
literally says, do not do this, you dumbass.
Yeah, I think there's the no smoking thing and like flammable.
Also, you're at school. Like, you're not.
Yeah, why
allowed
are
to
you
smoke
smoking
at
in the
school.
classroom at school? I thought tobacco was illegal on most campuses.
Well, she also had her gun with her, so that's a whole different situation.
Well, I had a teacher in high school, and she smoked like a chimney. And so, of course, back in the day, she would just smoke out of her classroom window, whatever. Then they were like, oh, no more tobacco on campus. So they painted the window shut. And so she would park in the parking lot and smoke in her car. And they said, technically, that's illegal because you're on school property. So she started parking on the street so that she was not on school property. And she was on the 3rd floor. She would run down to her car, smoke a cigarette real quick, and then run back up the stairs to her 3rd floor classroom in between classes.
I feel like she'd be in really great shape, though.
She was a tiny, skinny little woman who loved to smoke.
All right. Well, we have our special guest back. Today we have little Lisa Marie as well as Buddy Holly to answer our questions and help explain things, because that's what the cool kids say. They're going to talk to us.
They're gonna talk us real good.
So,
Lisa Marie, I have a question for this Ask the Teenager segment and also for Buddy Holly. Both of you can explain. No cap. What? Explain. No cap.
oh, I got this. Are you going to say it?
This is Ask a Teenager.
This is not ask an old
Lisa,
man.
why don't you go first?
Is that kind of like no homo?
Is it? What?
You know, like, oh, dude, your hair looks so good. No homo. Yeah, thank you. So what does no cap mean?
No cap means like, let's start from the beginning. Cap means lie. So pretty much
like
if you
no
say
lie.
no cap, no lie. And it's
Every gangsta in the history of
It's like,
rap
I'm
will tell
not
you cap
lying.
does not mean lie.
It's
Why
like
does
I'm not
cap
lying.
No cap? I thought it meant like no limit. Like,
No.
Just keep going.
So it's not like bust a cap in your ass.
No, I was thinking like the cap's like that's where it stops. Like there's no cap. We just keep going.
See,
Sky's
that
the
would make
limit.
way more. Kids are stupid.
Yeah,
would make
you're not
way
slanging
more
this right.
sense.
Wait.
No cap,
Why
right?
does cap mean lie?
This
Yeah,
is
yeet
a
this
crazy
information over
question,
for
but
Miss
why can't it
Sparkles.
just be, hey, no lie?
Yeah, right. Yeah, why can't we just say no
lie.
I
lie?
didn't make it. I don't know.
Somebody on TikTok
I would
came
like
up
to
with
talk
it.
to my lawyer before I say anything else.
Oh man, buddy, dang. We got to call in the lawyers.
Yeah, no cap.
It's like some people, they like use it on their pictures, like no caption, but like it's like no lie when people are saying it.
Okay,
when they're
the
talking.
no caption makes sense, but no
But
lie,
like
that's
it
dumb.
means like no lie. So like
And we old people decide that's dumb.
That's stupid.
The Council of Olds has made a decision.
All right. go
Thank
back
you,
to your
Lisa. Thank you,
YouTube.
buddy.
Yeah,
Thank
buddy
you,
Holly.
Lisa. Thank you, buddy.
No, apparently there's a new challenge involving electrical outlets, your phone charger,
Yeah, we got
and
an email about
metal
this.
forks or metal whatever.
So the new challenge
That's
is to
called
electrocute
natural
yourself.
selection.
Essentially.
This is like the laundry pod thing, but even stupider.
Yeah, the laundry pod thing wasn't
actually, Yeah, I
real.
was gonna say the Tide Pod thing. No one actually was eating the Tide Pods.
Yeah, that wasn't real. But the
Stick a
charger
fork in them,
thing,
you're done.
Right.
Oh, is that what they call it? If not, I trademark that.
I don't think they're clever enough to call it that. But it's been a problem at my school. I think there's like 4 or 5 outlets that they have found burned
Yeah.
because of the Tic Tacs challenge.
Are they
Yeah,
still
people
doing the
are
thing
dumb.
where they like choke themselves until they pass out and see how long it takes?
No, I think that
doing
is
that?
past.
Don't revive that.
Yeah,
Don't
back in
revive
my
that.
day, we'd put spray paint in a paper bag, and then we'd huff.
We would hoof it.
We'd huff
No, like
it.
you like choke yourself and someone hits you in the stomach and sees if you can pass out.
God, why would you do
I
that?
didn't do it, but I've
I
seen it
remember
done.
this.
What do I
No,
mean
like-
you? But like, why would one do
Like
that?
early in my
Who do you
teaching
think with
career, I remember
boys-
that. Like
boys
the
do that
kids
kind of
would
shit?
and we had to have a rule about not doing the passing out thing. I remember that like early in my career.
Yeah, with the elementary school kids, that was a thing. I don't know, probably
mine
with
were
the high school.
kids.
We had an issue with that with some middle school kids that I taught. I don't know that was what they were doing for sure, but another teacher was like, hey, because we were at a speech tournament, and another teacher came to us and was like, hey, you need to go talk to your kids because we saw them and we think they were doing this thing. And my coworker and I, who went and talked to them, he got super emotional because a friend of his died doing it, or like was just really severely brain damaged and eventually died from doing it. But it was really like he was.
That's a good eye opener, though.
Yeah, it was, because this is a guy who's like, he's a big, like over 6 feet tall, like burly former football player, like really tough guy who coached debate. But he was like crying in front of the kids, and our kids really looked up to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's an excellent educator. And it was eye-opening for me too, because I was never interested in that. I think it's really dumb. But those
Called
kids,
autoerotic asphyxiation.
yeah, I don't want to end up like, what's his name? What was
Michael
Didn't-
Hutchins.
Not
that
even
who
Michael
died?
Hutchins. That's not the one I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of the guy, the older guy.
Yeah, the old man who died doing
Oh,
that.
from Kung Fu.
Yeah.
David Carradine.
David Carradine. Yes, that
He
one.
was
Was,
Bill.
that was the one that made me sad.
You know, that might not have been what happened. Apparently, he made some enemies, and they're saying that maybe that's how they offed him and staged it to look like that.
Yeah, but he'd be the kind of freak to do that, though.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we sign off, this is our Valentine's Day episode. And so I looked for like a Valentine's Day topic. And I know the kids are going to be hormonal or sad or crying
sugar.
or all of that stuff. From
Fucking
what's going
teddy bears
on.
everywhere.
And I was trying to find a way to make it look. And so I found like love tips for teachers. And the biggest love thing I've seen in here is
Don't do it.
Don't date at your school.
Oh my God! Don't date at your school. I've made this
yeah, yeah.
mistake.
Co-workers
Don't do it.
Even
Yeah.
if it works for a while, the kids are gonna know, and they might choose sides. If it doesn't work, I'm just a big fan of the "don't shit where you eat" philosophy. Where if you have a place
Amen.
you really like or work, you don't date there. You don't want to make it a bad place to be.
I wish you could all see the look on Miss Priscilla's face when you
She was like, oh, yeah,
said
shit where you eat.
All right, thanks for joining us for another episode of Teacher Needs a Drink. Miss Rosey Rose, thank you so much,
Always a pleasure.
and Ms. Bunny O'Hare, thank you,
Thank you, Elvis.
and Miss Sparkles.
Dear listeners, I love you. No cap, sparkle up, bitches.
Amen. All right, and cheers.
Cheers to that.
Phrases.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Teacher Needs a Drink Podcast. Teacher Needs a Drink Podcast comes out every Wednesday. If you can, follow, subscribe, and like, and leave a review. A good one if you can. And if you get a chance, tell one person in your building around about our show, our little podcast. It's the easiest way to spread the word, and it saves us on advertising. I'd like to thank my guests, Rosey Rose, Bunny O'Hare, Miss Sparkles, as well as Lisa Marie and Buddy Holly. Molly, and also we had Zola Zanzibar and the lovely, beautiful Miss Priscilla sitting next to me. I'm so happy they were all there with us. Our social media, you can find us on Instagram or Facebook. Zola Zanzibar and Priscilla run it. We're also sponsored by Ludlam Dramatics. If you need theater educational posters, go to ludlamdramatics.com. Anyway, good times. Episode 20 in the can. Bye, everybody.
Oh, I was 7 feet away. I've got it all on tape, so we're good. I've been rolling.
Why are you holding your breath?
Because I was about to burp and it was going to be really loud. So I was like, nope.
All right, well, I'm going to get my drink.